letting go, another trick of mine. I've been feeling weary, splashing water on my face, shuffling my footsteps like the cards a gambler plays. I've been diving deeper, searching for the pearl. I am a weeping dreamer, trying to save the world, pacing back and forth on eggshells, trying not to break. Another heart, another wound, another leap of faith, circling the edges, round and round I go, circling the edges, slowly spilling over. Looking through the wire mesh, oh my gilded cage, peeling back the onion skin till tears get in the way. The thickness of the silence could unnerve a predator. Wishful thinking, good intentions, feathers get unfurled. Dangerously close so far, nothing I can do. I'm distancing myself, no comfort coming through. As tangible the obstacle I thought that I could handle. When the stars align, the universe unfolds to you, circling the edges, round and round I go, circling the edges, slowly spilling over. As tangible the obstacle I thought that I could handle. When the stars align, the universe unfolds to you. Hey, yeah, circling the edges, round and round I go, circling the edges, slowly spilling over. Circling the edges, round and round I go, circling the edges.
And that was Circling the Edges by our good friend Donna McGavero. You can find her at donnamcgaveromusic.com. I'm Carlin Haggerty.
And I'm Lori Graves.
And this is the Lori and Carlin Show on www.Gone Rogue Radio. Lori, introduce our guest tonight.
Our guest, we have the lovely, is it TTT?
Yes.
Tippy Taylor Timms. I always say it real fast. It's like a tongue twister. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Where'd you come up here from tonight?
Just decided to head this way. Had the night off.
Are you a MacArthur chick? I've never asked you that.
I
You are?
am.
Okay, I didn't know if you
She's
were.
a Benton County institution.
I didn't know if you were a New Marshfield chick or like I got called down at Bucks that time. Are you a Lake Hope chick?
No.
Because I got
I'm a
asked that.
MacArthur
So
chick.
yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah. Is this light supposed to be red? Does that mean it's on?
I think it's on. There's stuff going on. I see lines going on.
I don't know. I think it's because it's always facing the other
Yeah,
way. When
okay.
I never get the front of the mic. I always get the ass end of it.
Now, a story of your life.
Yeah, I know. I always get the ass end. Carlin, what'd you do this weekend?
Well, I went and attempted to perform at Comfest in Columbus in Goodale Park.
Those of you who don't know about Comfest, it's Hippie Central.
Yeah. So
Bye,
guys,
guys.
be safe.
That was MG Flash leaving the building, by the way. They got a good band.
Screw safe. Go fast.
Yeah, Comfest is up in Columbus every year. It's been how many years now they have this?
Like 43, 44.
It's big. Basically, they break it down. It's a big old hippie fest with a lot of armpit hair and good music. Isn't that pretty much it?
I think you nailed
and
it.
pot. Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
4 pairs of boobies, and the score was 2 and 2. 2 pair I wanted to see, 2 pair I didn't want to see.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the rodeo in Chillicothe.
Exactly.
Where naked people shouldn't be naked. Yeah. So you didn't get to perform Friday because we're having the great flood of Ohio right now.
Rained out, went up there, got there 4 o'clock, wandered around, smelled a lot of patchouli and failed dreams. And,
Yeah.
about 6:30 they said no show, so I came back down to MacArthur.
How many guys do you see wandering aimlessly with guitars, pretending like they were playing at Comfest, but they
and
really
were
weren't booked?
selling weed.
Yeah.
I love it though. I mean, if you can't buy a tie-dye shirt at Comfest, just quit.
I like going up there because people are friendly.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And usually when the weather's nice, have you ever been, Toby?
No, I've never been.
Oh,
I wanted
God,
to go and I got rained out.
When the weather's nice, it's packed. I mean, it's like, but there's never really any problems. I mean,
No.
it's like people get along, everybody's just there having a good time, and it is a good community feel. I mean, did you ever perform?
Yeah, well, last year, remember we had the comedy tent?
No, I meant this weekend.
Oh, no, I
Toby,
did not.
He's slow sometimes.
Did I ever
No.
perform?
It's all right. I understand.
Didn't you go up Sunday? Did you perform Sunday?
No, I just went up and watched Long Tall Deb and Colin John play. And
Oh, nice.
took our friend Jared and watched his eyes get really big.
Oh, yeah, Jared probably hasn't seen a lot of boobies, has he?
Well, I don't know if he has or not, but he sure liked seeing the ones he did, I guess.
Oh, poor Jared.
Yeah, I
Is he
know.
still henpacked
Yes.
with by the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in love, I guess.
Oh, okay. We'll talk to him this fall.
Teach him the error of his ways.
Yeah, I thought you were performing Sunday. So, yeah, last year we had a good time until the mic went out in the middle of my set.
Do you remember the kid that was doing sound that I motherfucked the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
And was really yelling? He remembered me. He's up there. He goes, "Were you a comedian last year?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Are you going to yell at me again this year?" I went after him for about probably, 7 or 8 minutes. It was just horrible, and it was mean-spirited stuff. Barely funny. I was laughing, but he didn't think it was as funny as the rest of us did.
We thought it was funny. I just had to do it like Shakespeare in the Park, my set. Because I looked over, I said, how long is this going to take to get fixed? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead.
Sure.
Because God knows we'd have been there all night long waiting on his little dumb ass to fix that microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to plug shit in? I mean,
He was having issues.
you're a sound guy. That's what you do. That's your job. That'd be
Exactly.
like you like selling a car but not selling one.
Not
I mean, it's
selling
like
one.
it's like your
I
job. Spade, we didn't record the show last night because did you sell any cars yesterday?
Oh my gosh, it was ugly. We sold a lot of cars. I delivered 2 myself. Delivery is when you take the car, you sign the paperwork, and you go home with your car. So I didn't take them to somebody. The dealership delivered, I want to say 18 or 19 cars. It was big.
Damn, end of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not feeling it last night anyway, and Carlin's like, I might be late here. I said, make your money, Carlin. We'll do it tomorrow.
The last guys back into the dealership, they took paperwork in a car to Lancaster at 10:30 last night, got back at 12:45.
Wow.
So they were putting
Is
their
that the
time
best
in.
time to buy a car? Is the end of the month?
You know what? Yeah, you probably do get a little bit better deal. Last night there was some stupid stuff going on, and anybody that said no they screwed themselves because I sound like friggin' some guy with a string tie and plastic shoes on, but we made an offer to a lady and her payment is going to be $43 a month, and she still declined.
On a car?
Brand new Honda Civic.
$43 a month?
Yeah.
On a brand new Civic?
She had a little bit of money down, and we did everything we could, and we sold it for a stupid. And she says, "I just don't know."
Can I be nosy? How much money did she put down?
$5,000.
And $43 a month?
Yeah.
She's a fucking idiot.
I have to agree.
Oh my God.
I have to agree. She just couldn't pull the trigger, and once the buddy hung the phone up from her, we just laughed at the stupidity.
How could you? Well, how low did she want it? $33 a month? How low? $43 a month for a car payment?
Yeah.
Yeah, free. Stupid. I don't know who you are, lady, but you're stupid.
Exactly.
What do you got coming up this weekend?
This weekend, I'm just going to go over to the Hotel Lafayette in Marietta and watch the Dirt Poor Troubadours, Ben Davis Jr.'s band.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
We'll go-
Now, the Lafayette, for those of you that may have never listened to our show, was Carlin's. It's his winter gig.
Yep.
He hosts the comedy every Saturday night.
They got the rooftop bar open this weekend.
Oh, see, I don't know if I should go back to Marietta.
Well, you own part of that bar. I think you can.
You're the one across the street. I told people, I got Carlin. Did you hear? I got him super wasted down there, and I almost got into a fight at the bar across the street after the comedy show. And then I made out with some 24-year-old in the elevator. So,
You go, girl.
yeah, I did make good decisions. I went back to my room alone because No, I did. I made good decisions that night.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, what's that look? You know,
I was hoping that would come through on radio.
I understand it did.
It did, yeah.
It did, trust me.
No,
Same
it was
situation.
his birthday weekend,
Yeah.
so we got trashed and had a good
Yes,
time.
we
And
did have fun.
I told some guy I owned part of the bar that we were in. 'Cause
Well,
he was being shitty.
Yeah, he was being an asshole, and you just had to tune him up, and you did a good job
Yeah.
of it. What, do you own this bar? Well, yes, I do.
I was like, I own this corner right here. This is mine right here. So yeah.
I paid for this booth.
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew the night was going to hell in a handbasket when I bought a bucket of syringe Jello shots. I knew.
I don't know what that was all about. It was fun, but I don't know what it was all about.
I knew right then, and I did like 4 or 5 of them. I
Yeah.
knew right then, and some girl goes, "I can't get it all in my mouth." I was like, "Bitch, now you know you get more than that shit in your mouth." I mean, yeah.
Don't
So,
lie.
yeah, I was like, "Come on." I was like, "I know
Really?
you could take that." I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
If
and I
there
think
was-
I think I did get crude. I'm like, "Have you ever had a dick in your mouth?" Because I was saying
I
it.
hate
So,
when they act cute
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, because you know she's had
Listen,
one.
whore, if there's an electric bill payment involved, you know you're getting everything in your mouth.
Exactly. We do
I
have,
guess this isn't a PG show tonight.
yeah, we've kind of just like,
Yeah, that went out the window. We
'cause
tried.
We really have never had anybody. I've had 2 people actually that listen to the show that we know. So who are we offending? People we don't know, strangers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they'll know us now.
Yeah, they'll know us now.
Exactly.
I'm wrapped in a gay pride flag right now, and Carlin's got a rebel one on, so we're
Yeah,
offending
what
everybody.
the hell?
Yeah.
Screw it. Speaking of that, what's got you pissed off this week, ladies?
Well, I want to talk about our shows first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always get it out of order. Excuse
It's
me.
okay. You can't follow the outlines.
I'm
of
not real
Toby.
smart.
It's okay. It's
I'm not
okay.
real smart.
Well, we could give a shout out while Toby's here.
Yeah.
The show we talked about last week that we did of hers.
Had a blast.
At Uncle Buck's, and
Yeah.
we raised how much money for
Oh
autism?
my God! Altogether, we raised $1,200 for Autism Speaks. I just sent the
Rock on.
check off last week.
Very
I
cool.
can't believe it. I had such a wonderful turnout.
Hey,
So
that
many-
wasn't bad for, and that really wasn't a huge crowd. So
No,
people
about
were,
80,
but
85.
so people dug in. I
Yeah.
mean, and then not
Yeah, I had checks for $100 from people.
not bad, Vinton County, not bad.
It was
I know,
awesome. It
and I
was
don't
so
think
cool.
Carlin molested or attacked anyone that night.
Nothing was
Nothing was
announced.
reported.
Yeah.
Recorded.
I think I verbally attacked him and assaulted him, but other than that, it's okay.
And Carlin sang, so
Yeah.
He sang very
I know. I
well.
told him I
Weren't you
never thought I would
impressed?
compliment him in public, but he did.
Well,
He was wonderful. I
So-
had a ball.
And we were celebrating your retirements
30 years.
of teaching.
Yes,
Did you
30
teach
years.
what, 2nd grade?
I actually taught 2nd grade for 3 years, but I've taught middle school ever since then. And it's the only grade that actually needs really good teachers.
I coached middle school for 10 years. Those kids are the devil.
Yes, they are. And I so fit in with them.
They are so when I coached girls volleyball, 8th grade volleyball, it's the only group of girls I ever wanted to hug and grab by the throat at the
Yeah.
same time.
When you teach 8th grade, you teach little tiny kids and people that are already sexually active. I mean,
Yes,
it's just
and the
unbelievable.
boys either look like they're 3 or they're 20. There's no, they've either got a beard or they don't. I mean, it's hilarious. But yeah, middle school kids are on there, and they stink because they're going through the deodorant thing, and they're little. I joke about it. I was like, middle school kids, their eyeballs are always bulging out and they're always sweaty because they're just thinking of ways to fuck up your day. That's all they do, and they just can't. Their little hormones are up, down, up, down, up, down. They're smiling, they're crying, they're bitching. It's every.
27 years of that, and I
You-
loved it. I absolutely
Thank
loved it. I
God.
totally fit in. I'm just.
You needed a big party then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. That's what I did. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I'm glad you did it.
Oh, I
Come on, are you gonna go back and like sub, or are you just gonna?
no.
No, you're just done. You're like, fuck you, little bastards.
What
I'm
did you
done. Yeah, I'm out.
I'm gonna do archaeology out west.
Oh, nice. Let's talk about that for you. The shows. Tell us about your where are you going to go? Do you have a plan already, or?
Yeah, I've gotten a hold of a volunteer at Ohio Historical Society, and they do training for volunteers, and there's all kinds of archaeological digs that go on through them. But there's also clubs that are in Cleveland, Akron, and Cincinnati, You can get on with those, and they love retirees because we will sit in the dirt and the mud all day when the young kids want to, sit for 2 or 3 hours and then go drink beer.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that Ohio even had that kind of class.
Yeah.
That's really have you always been interested in this?
Yeah.
Did
It's like
you
second grade.
did
I
you
wanted to be an
teach
archaeologist.
any kind of archaeology or just
I
okay?
actually taught geology mostly.
Oh, okay.
About half my year of 8th grade was geology. I taught physical science and some life science, but mostly it was geology. And so I had spent many summers out in Wyoming through Miami University and had a lot of education through them and just really started digging it. And I love paleontology, but they're sort of like the divas of the science world. So
That's funny.
yeah. And so
How are you so cool and she's your friend? How did that happen?
It was an accident.
Did you meet him drunk at the VFW one night?
We've known each other forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we
We
went
went
to school
to
together.
school
Okay,
fine
all right.
yards.
Yeah.
So she has to be your friend then.
Right. I'm friends with his sister. I went to school with his sister.
Oh, okay.
So he was the little brother.
That's right.
Aw.
When you go out to do this stuff, is this all on your own nickel, or are there grants available?
Well,
or
what it is usually, if you can get your airfare or if you can drive out, because I'm just thinking about going out west at first, but I do have a friend that is an Egyptologist in England. She's working on her PhD right now and needs a secretary to travel with her in the future. So there's a really good chance I'll do that. She's actually in Michigan teaching right now.
How cool.
I know, I have all these wonderful contacts. So yeah, I might be doing some of that later, but I think I'm going to get my feet wet just here in the States first.
That is so cool.
what about the cruise?
Yeah, okay, I'm celebrating because I'm
Good for
sort
you.
of double dipping right now because I get my teacher's salary until the end of August and then
Sure.
I also get my retirement.
Good for
so
you.
I'm going to Alaska.
How cool is that?
I've always wanted to go on an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go with my, actually my brother and sister-in-law and some friends. And so we have a starboard cabin and we have a port cabin. And when we see a grizzly bear on the port, we're going to be, hey, we got a grizzly over on the port. So we're going to all run over to the other side. And we're going to run back over when they see like seals on the starboard side and just drink a lot and look at a lot of wildlife.
Oh,
so.
How
nice.
fun does that sound?
That sounds
Isn't it great?
awesome.
It's
I
like
want to be
11
Toby.
days. Yeah.
She's my new hero.
When you grow
She's
up,
paid
you
her
might be
dues.
able to be Toby.
I want to be you. Yeah, I want to grow up. I want to be Toby.
You paid your dues. I don't begrudge you one bit of it.
To answer your question, as long as you get your airfare or your, if you drive out to a site, they will usually put you up. It might be a tent, and they'll
cool.
feed you, but if you will dig for them all day long, they will put you up. So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just.
Cool.
That's awesome.
It is. How about you, Miss Lori? What shows you got coming up?
Tomorrow night, which will be the night the show airs, I'll be in Indianapolis. I'm closing a show at Joker's.
Very cool.
Carla Goldbush is going with me, and my mother, the Sharon, is tagging along because we need a chaperone.
Give Carla my love and
I
all
will.
from me.
I will.
Ask her if she'll marry me now that the Supreme Court said we can.
Yeah. I think that's same sex. I think gays can always marry, just not their own sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if she
Okay.
used that,
I
if
didn't
she
realize
used
that
that
gays
as an
could marry.
excuse for you, she lied to you, Carlin. She lied.
She's the only woman I've ever proposed to in a minute because I know she'll tell me no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dodge that bullet, as
Hell
Carla
yes.
says in one of her jokes.
yes.
One of my 30-day challenge jokes was men in the United States sighed a breath of relief today because all churches and reception halls will be full for the next year and a half. So straight men are like fist pumping this shit. Like, hell yeah, we're safe. We're safe. Bye, Brooke.
Bye.
See ya.
Lori.
Get me a van. I want to rent a taxi service.
We will.
How cool. Another venture Lori's going to go into.
Yeah, I just found out Chillicothe has no cabs, so I want to get a van and do like taxi cab confessions, Chillicothe style. Holy shit, that's going to be funny.
Just one piece of advice, no carpet. So you can hose that mother out whenever you
Yeah,
can.
can't you get that? What's that like? That
The
like,
vinyl or whatever.
Yeah, vinyl. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I'll be maybe outfitted in that. Yeah. I'll have plenty of Kroger bags in the back. For
Exactly.
fun, but other than that, let's see. I don't have anything this weekend. Tuesday though, we have the show here at Steiner Speakeasy.
Which is where we're at. We forgot to mention that.
We did, but I think they kind of assume we're here. But Steiner Speakeasy, Chillicothe, Ohio.
South Main Street.
South Main Street.
Tara
Tara
Gilliam.
Gilliam, yeah.
Love her.
I've got Dale Storm, Biscuit coming in from Dayton, and Michael Moore, not the director, the guy, comic from Grove City, will be coming in, and be a good show.
All three of them are funny. Very, very funny. You're very funny. congratulations on the Joker's gig closing it out tomorrow. That's
Hey,
pretty big.
thanks. It's kind of like how I do my open mic here, where it's an open mic and they bring in like a person to close.
You're the hired gun.
And Neil Snyder got hold of me and asked if I wanted to do it, because normally the headliner for the weekend at the club does the Thursday, but they don't have a headliner this weekend because of the holiday.
Sure.
So they just needed somebody for tomorrow night, and I'm hoping the manager will be there, so maybe I'm looking at it as kind of like an audition. Maybe I can get some work or something if you're listening, Jokers. Yeah, so.
We'll cross our fingers, and we'll also put up a link to their page on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll give them a shout out, and if they don't hire me, then we'll just take it down.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
We
and
give,
let's
we
see.
take away.
And then next Wednesday,
Yes.
Carlin and I, along with Rob Wolfong, Carla Goldbush, and Nate Washington, and Jonathan Craig, are all doing a USO show in Middletown, Ohio. It'll be my third USO show with them. Really pumped. They keep contacting me to do this. This is going to kick off the Wounded Warriors Weekend to Remember weekend in Middletown. They're doing like I think a 5K, and Aaron Tippin's going to be there Thursday. They're just doing all kinds of stuff in Middletown for Wounded Warriors, so it's a good. And I wanted to include Carlin on one of these, so I invited him to the Middletown show.
I appreciate that. I mean, my whole family are veterans. Dad was Navy. Both my brothers did Navy. I was in the Navy, and it means a lot. The USO is an amazing event. You guys had, and we're not allowed to say it, we had the bartender contest a few years ago, and that was the USO.
We used to call it Olympics, and Tara that owns this place is the one that's done it. I think she's raised over $20,000 in the past years for USO. It's a bartender competitive thing. Bars get teams together and compete, and Tara, and all of her money goes to USO. That's another USO event. So
when I was in the Navy, I was out in San Diego, and they had a USO club on 32nd Street, and it was really cool. Single sailors that were lonely, homesick, whatever, they would go to this club, and they would have dances on Friday and Saturday nights, and these girls would volunteer to come and dance, and it was not hookups, it was not anything like that. They would just come,
human interaction.
just spend time with these poor little saps from Southern Ohio that love their mama, you know. But it was really cool. I mean, they come up, and I met some really cool people, and it was awesome. And they do a lot more than they know. I mean, they saved me from jumping over the side several times.
They do, and they do so many different things. I do like Wednesday. You're coming up for the meet and greet, right?
Yes.
We're doing a meet and greet at the Drury Inn from 6 to 8. Yes. So I'm hoping there are a lot of veterans there. I know Carla's bringing her brother. I think he's a veteran.
Yep.
And we get to like hang out with him for a couple hours, and then we're going to go. They were going to do the show at a place called JD Legends, but the VFW I think wanted to be involved. And they've got a big, I guess the Middletown VFW has a social center that's separate from their club.
Oh, wow.
And it's like a big, huge place, so we're going to do the show there. So, and it's like, I think it's going to be a 10-minute drive. So the show will be at 8:30, and meet and greet 6 to 8. So if you're in the Middletown area, come out. It's a great lineup. Right now I'm struggling with who's going to close. But
You've got so much talent. I mean, you, Nate, Carla, or Jonathan could all close.
Well, and Rob. So I mean, so we're all going to do the same amount of time, and we're all getting the same benefit out of it. So I'm just going to be like, I think we might just roll numbers out of a hat and just be done. Or
I'm pretty sure I know who's going first.
Me, because I'm the host.
Well, we don't count that, but
we don't count that. But yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I don't think I have anything else coming up. Do you?
That show's pretty big. I can't talk about it right now, but I'll tell you after we go off the air.
Ooh, secrets. I love secrets.
Yes.
Toby, secrets are great.
Yes. I have a musical something coming up that's really cool.
Okay, now, if I can say this, because you put it on Facebook, so it's public, is that the reason why you were asking for a priest collar?
That's exactly why.
You're going to be in a musical? No? Okay, we got to talk about later?
Yeah.
Damn it, Carlin, I hate when you do that.
It's really cool. Let me also give a shout out to my friends Long Tall Deb and Colin John. I got a copy of their newest EP. It'll be released to the public in August. It's called Streets of Mumbai. It's 4 tracks. Toby got to listen to it. What do you think, Toby?
Oh, I absolutely love it. The number 4 is my favorite. It's called songs. Shine That Song Like Gold.
Yep, Shine That Song Like Gold.
It's all about Robert Johnson songs, and it's perfect.
She goes back, calls back old blues music.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Then she's got
about
one
Crossroads.
that is called Jailhouse, and it's a pop song, and I swear it sounds like No Doubt and Gwen Stefani, and I'm not dogging it, it was that good. And then she got Streets of Mumbai where they've got a sitar playing, and it's pretty
Oh,
awesome
cool.
stuff.
I love her voice anyway.
I do too.
I first met her at Uncle Buck's.
Yeah.
And I love her
First time I
voice.
saw her.
I like her stage presence because she's kind of not as bold off stage.
Yes.
And if she could mix into a crowd, you would never know she was a singer. until she hits that stage, and then all of a sudden it's like there's a light behind her, and all of a sudden it's just she just becomes so.
We are not allowed to release this. We're not allowed to say what it is. This is just something, a little bonus for the listeners of the Lori and Carlin show. There, that's all I'm allowed
That's
to
it?
do. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at my calendar while we were doing that. I've got the lip sync battle at the dock on July 17th. You gonna be a judge again?
Please let me. That is so much fun.
If you want to enter, and you're anywhere you are in the listening area, if you get Shoal Coffee, call the Dock at Water. They're on Facebook. We need entries. We had a blast doing this last time. This lip sync battle, it is hilarious. I mean, and people.
We saw everything from people who were prepared and had choreographed moves to
people,
idiots.
drunk people. I pulled out of the crowd going, "Hey, we need more contestants. Do you want to do this?" Freaking ball. And I know there's people that are working on stuff.
when
So
is it?
it's July 17th, the Dock at Water. There's no cover. It's a
Great
Friday
Friday.
night. That's the only Friday in July there isn't a paints game. So, I mean, there's nothing really going on in town to compete as far as like that.
It's going to be a blast. It was a blast last time.
It was. And Carlin and Chuck Garthy are my judges. Do you want to be a judge?
I'd love to be a judge.
Because I'd like threes. That way I don't have to do it. I can just host.
And that way you'd have also a woman's point.
Yeah, why don't you come up and judge with Carlin?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Come up and judge. Great.
I'd love to.
Are you going to be in town? July 17th?
Probably.
Okay, I meant if you were digging up bones or whatever.
No,
You're gonna be okay. All
I
right.
still got to raise my daughter.
Be in Alaska, whatever you're doing. So, yeah.
Not till August.
Yeah. There's 5 categories, and you have to like give them points on that, and then write a really shitty comment about the act.
Well, you don't have to write a shitty comment, but the comments, I read the judges' comments after each act just to try to add to it, and people were, Carlin and Chuck's comments were all about boobs. So it'll be nice to have you
Yeah, I'm going to say. Somebody's going to have to rub up against me, too.
The
to get
balance.
points.
Yeah, you can be the
Right,
balance
that's
of the,
Exactly.
Sounds great.
She'll be the rose among thorns.
She will be a big old rose between 2 big old thorns. I'm telling
Pretty
you.
much.
I wonder if is Garthy going to come? Of course he
I
will.
hope, yes.
He wants to meet Chillicothe women.
What
He'll be
does
back.
Chuck Garthy have going on in his life? Okay? Garthy, you suck, okay? If this gives you one more reason not to pull the trigger, then by all means get your ass to Chillicothe, okay?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes. Let's go ahead and we will take a quick break and go to 5 questions. We recently had the open mic with headliner Keith Bergman from Toledo, and he and Leslie Battle talked to us for a little bit after the show. So let's go ahead and go to 5 questions with Keith and Leslie. We're just going to do it right here, right now. We're recording.
That's so dirty.
I know. 5 questions with the lovely Leslie Battle and even lovelier Keith Bergman.
Hey now.
Yes, we just finished up the show, the Dock at Water. I think it went pretty well tonight. Had a pretty good crowd. What do you guys think?
Agree.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah,
They liked your stuff. There were a few lulls, a few good points. They actually laughed at 1 or 2 of my jokes. I was happy.
It's always tricky when you try new stuff.
It is. I had 2 new jokes, one I liked and one that I'll never utter again, just like Henry Allen said. So that's how it goes. We'll just start off with the 5 questions. I'm going to start with you ladies first, Leslie.
Okay.
How long have you been performing comedy?
July 5th will be 4 years since I did my first open mic at the Columbus Funny Bone.
How was that received?
It was pretty good, but it's funny because I met a Dayton comic, Doug Morgan, that night, and he told me to record everything, and that was probably the best advice I ever got, which I'll say that for later. But I look at my videos from then, and I look at my videos from now, and as self-critical as I am, I see that I've made a lot of improvement. Yeah.
Very cool.
So, I mean, what I've been told by other comics that have seen me lately are like, wow, it's not like you were ever bad, but you're so much better.
From 4 years ago to, and forgive me if I say so, Columbus's funniest person at the Funny Bone, is that right?
Yeah, as of last month, I've got some bragging rights for right now.
Well,
yeah.
it just says how far you've come along and how much you've progressed. And you, Mr. Bergman, how long have you been performing comedy?
Almost 5 years now.
Almost 5 years.
But I actually tried it years before that. I went up and did a few open mics back in like the Bronze Age, I think, and it didn't work out very well, and I gave it up for years. And then there was an open mic right around the corner from my house, and I said, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it again. So I walked over there, and I did it, and I was horrible, but I got hooked on it, and I've been at it ever since.
Well, you're quite good. You really did a good job as headliner tonight.
Thank you.
What is, would you say, one of the most memorable gigs you've had?
Oh, goodness.
Before you speak, the rules on 5 questions. Even though you want to, you're not allowed to say a gig with me.
Well done.
You know, there were probably the most memorable. I got to open a weekend of shows with the amazing Jonathan.
Wow.
And it ended up being the last weekend of his last tour on the road. He had to cut his tour short for health issues.
Yes.
So and it was just me and him. I did 15 minutes and then I brought him up. And it was one of those things, like every show was sold out. They were there to see him. They weren't there to see the goofy opening guy. And I had to win them over and, do the job of an MC and a host and also do, a little bit longer time. And but just getting to be part of a sold-out show or a sold-out weekend, there was like an electricity. There was it was very poignant because we knew, he's not in the best of health. And we knew that was going to be his last road gigs.
Wow.
So it was very interesting to be, you're honored to do something. A lot of times you don't realize something's a big moment until after the fact. But
Certainly.
to be in the moment and know that it's very important.
That's pretty big.
It was exciting. It was very exciting.
And you, Miss Leslie, what would be your most memorable gig?
My most memorable gig. I would have to say, and this is going to sound so corny, but to date anyway, not this time that I competed at the Funny Bone, but the first time that I competed at the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
I was only 4 months into comedy,
Okay.
and I told myself, if I make it to the finals, I'm going to keep trying.
Okay.
Because I'd gone through a lot of personal stuff, and that's where a lot of my comedy comes from.
Your ex-husband's an asshole.
Well, yeah, there's that. But, so when I found out that I was going to be in the finals, when I was in that semifinal round, and I mean, very inexperienced, knowing that, I was competing with some really good competition, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it's just been, I've had so many memorable ones since,
Certainly.
but there's this part of me that knows that I've got even better things coming, because I'm still working. So, but I think that was really like a turning point for me as making up my mind that I'm going to honestly give this an honest to God try to do it.
Well, personally, I watch you, and I will say a critical. I love you to death as a friend, but to see you, I see you that you are progressing and you're getting better every time I see you. I think that's really awesome. I loved your new stuff. You were a little edgier tonight than I normally see, so that was really cool. You know me, I'm a perv. I love that stuff. What would you say that one of your biggest hell gigs, one of your one that you'd like to just say you never were there?
Oh, well, if I say it, no. Honestly,
you don't have to bust anybody or any venue out.
No, it's not really. I have difficulty with urban shows. I get told that I'm not urban enough. I've been told that I don't cuss enough and I'm not earthy enough and this, that, and the other. And that troubles me because I'm being myself.
That's all you can be, right?
Right. And there's been a couple of times where I've had, not to name a specific, but I the last couple of urban shows that I've done, I was better received. But I mean, there have been earlier on, it was crickets, it was nothing, and it was like, people. It's really humbling because it's like, well, learning these jokes work at X place versus, man, I thought I was funny and now I'm getting my butt handed to me.
I've had people tell me that, and not you as in you, but they say, Carlin, you don't know it, but you're not funny for the first 3 to 5 years. And I believe that.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, like I said, I look at some of my old videos and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking this off of YouTube.
Certainly. Yeah, I've got my first time, my first setup when I was with the Cross Keys. I sucked. I couldn't have sucked harder. But I was so nervous and everybody was so nice. They laughed at some of my stuff. And then I was just stupid enough to think I was funny. And that's not the case. That's not the case. If you were going to give advice to a newcomer in the business, what advice would you give them?
Well, it'll be the same advice that I got as a newcomer, and that's record as much as you can of your sets. Because there's this kind of phenomenon, and I've noticed it in listening to my videos, what you hear when you're actually performing sometimes isn't what is actually happening. And when you hear it on the recording, and you hear the lulls and the laughter, and you hear where you got applause, because for the life of me, I've got some bits that you couldn't get me to understand why they're funny, but whenever I say them, the crowd laughs, and so I keep saying them because the crowd keeps laughing. But if I were going from my, human ears, I would never do the bits because in my mind I hate it and I kind of like block out any laughter that happens.
Two different sides of the mic, huh?
Right, but when I listen to the recording, it's just like, oh, everybody likes that. Well, okay.
I don't know why, but
it's not. It's cool. So,
Yep.
but yeah, record everything, and even if you don't listen to them at first, because I was probably 6 months in before I listened to any of my recordings.
Oh, how hard is it?
it's rough. But now I use it like almost as a writing tool. I'm actually dismal about writing things down, and so I have my recordings, and so I'll go back and review them, and it's like, oh, I haven't done that bit for a while.
Yeah.
So until I get a little more conscientious about actually writing things down, that's kind of my crutch.
Yeah. Keith, I had asked Leslie earlier while you were conducting a little business. Congratulations. What would you say your worst gig was, or your biggest tailgate? You don't have to name a venue or a person, but anything stand out that just sucked?
There's so many. I mean, you go, and it's weird because there's no way to tell. I mean, you get told something's going to be in a small town, or it's going to be at this weird place that doesn't usually do comedy, or even sometimes, I've gone and hosted shows in front of 300 people at a comedy club, and they're just not into it. And then, I've done shows in front of 10 people where they're the best crowd in the world. But
I always say I'd rather have 10 people that are into it than 1,000 that are, don't care.
oh, absolutely, it's
Unless I've got a door deal.
right. I mean, it makes a huge difference. One of the first, probably one of the worst. I tried to get a gig down in. I have family in Alabama.
Okay.
And the first time I ever did comedy down south, most of my family had seen me do stand up in a favorable circumstance, but my dad had never seen it.
Oh no.
And the best I could get was closing out an open mic in Tuscaloosa at a bar that I don't think the air conditioning worked.
Oh my.
But if it did, it may have just been overworked because it was 115 during the day.
Good Lord.
Everyone's sweating through their shirts. Everybody's miserable. Everybody's just homicidally, angrily drunk. And I'm the last of way too many comics.
Oh no.
And I went on stage and just hated it.
Wow.
And
In front of family.
In front of my, and and my dad was driving me to the airport the next morning, and the only thing we said about it was, I said, that was not my best show ever. And he just went, yep.
One word, and he said volumes.
And that was all that was said about it. Luckily, I've been able, I try to go down south once a year and do a little run of shows, and he's gotten to see me since then, and he's gotten to see I'm not completely wasting my life.
Well, I don't think you're wasting your life.
Right.
I think this is the 4th or 5th time I've seen you perform, and I have enjoyed every time I've seen you perform. Yeah, your Statler and Waldorf bit tonight, like I said, I had a rough one on that. That was funny. If you were giving advice to a new comedian just starting out, what advice would you give?
There's a million things you can read. I wrote a blog thing about it. There's a lot of things about what to do, and technical advice about filming your sets is important and everything else. The biggest thing I would tell anybody at any level is to enjoy the process. Because that sounds flippant, that sounds like something out of a meme or a greeting card.
Not at all.
So many people get so caught up because it's almost like we're in a swim meet and everybody's swimming toward the goal.
Yeah.
And some of us don't get there as fast. Some of us struggle. Some of us still go fast and then struggle.
I struggled tonight a little bit. I had to pull the notes out of the pocket.
But I think the biggest thing is if you don't enjoy every aspect of it, if you don't enjoy like driving 3 hours to headline a show at a bar where the TVs are on, and finding the good parts of that. It's easy to get mad at any show. You can be a prima donna and get pissed off about anything.
I just told, and have you worked with Kevin Lee?
I have not.
Okay, I just told Kevin Lee, he's going to be on Last Comic Standing this year, but we're messaging back and forth, and I said, I love every inch of this process. I like knowing I've got a show that day. I like knowing that I'm going to drive to the show. I like going to the show. I like performing. I like driving home laughing about the stupid shit. Like you just said, I love every drop of this. And I'll drink it up every day if I can.
And you have to, because there are so many things that will bring you down if you let them. And there's just things that are a drag. I mean, it's a drag having a day job, getting up, driving home, and then getting up in the morning with kids or with work or whatever. The money sucks. You can do you can make a bad impression with somebody, and 5 years later they're like, oh, you're the guy that did that stupid thing. And
Certainly.
I'm so much better now, but they don't.
No, first impressions mean
Right.
it.
There's a million things, and your mistakes from 6 months in can haunt you 20 years down the road. But if you focus on any of that stuff for too long, you're gonna miss the whole point.
Certainly.
It's definitely because statistically speaking, we all got a better chance of winning the lottery than becoming the next George Carlin. So you got to enjoy it for what it is. Especially, I think, when you get into your 30s and 40s and beyond. You can't. I see. There's comics that are 22 years old. They can screw up and come back. If you don't have, you got.
We're not going to get rich, so we just might as well enjoy it.
Right, you got to enjoy it. There's so many things to enjoy, even if you don't quote unquote make it.
Certainly.
There's the friendships you'll make, the camaraderie, just the creative process. I mean, think about a lot of people are very passive consumers of entertainment.
Certainly.
They watch a lot of TV. They listen to music. They listen to comedy. They don't create. They don't put things into the world.
Yeah.
Even if you never make a big splash, just getting the privilege of getting to do that.
I think so.
It's a huge thing, and it's very fulfilling. So.
Well, let's get the plugs out of the way. Where can we find you online?
Usually 300 feet away from Leslie.
Court ordered.
Court ordered.
You know what? You two, and I'm taking everything outside the comedy stage out of the equation. You two are meant to be together. I think, you two love each other. You two get along together. You do great. And you're both beautiful. And if I happen to someday walk into a pile of you two naked, I'll just jump in the middle.
No.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
I am never getting a boner again now. It's
Sweet.
gone.
Sweet. So
Way to kill
where
it
can we
for me,
find you
Carlin.
online?
KeithBergman.com.
Okay.
Keith B. Bergman on Twitter.
Okay.
My CD is available. You can actually get it on iTunes.
Okay,
You can get it
Disheveled.
on Amazon. Yeah, my debut CD, Disheveled. You can get it on iTunes or Amazon. CDbaby.com. You can buy physical copies.
Awesome.
Or just go to my website. There's a link there.
Or come out to a show.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely
best way to get one.
Come to a show, because usually at that point, if you don't buy a couple CDs,
Yeah.
I can't drive home. I don't have enough gas money.
I understand. What about you, Miss Leslie? Where will we find you online?
I have a Facebook fan page. It is facebook.com/LNB Creative.
LNB
or you
Creative.
can just look up Leslie Battle and my comedy page should pop up.
Very cool.
Also, I'm on Twitter at LB_creative, and I'm on, dang it, what am I forgetting? Oh, I'm on Instagram. For what it's worth, at MumsyB.
Very cool. And Justin, where are we going to find you online?
Not a lot. I'm in the bar.
Good call. Thanks a lot for spending a little time with me. Drive safe going home, kids.
Thank you.
And that was 5 questions with Keith Bergman and Leslie. That was a good night. That was a good open
A
mic.
lot of fun. Everybody
fun.
was pretty funny. Some people that struggled the month before came back and turned in pretty good performances.
Sure they did. We had a brand newbie.
Yes.
I love when they break their comedy cherry at my open mic. It's great. Yeah. Yeah, and, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I just that's like, okay, anyway, we're here with Tara Gillum, who is the owner of Steiner Speakeasy and our regular guest on the Lori and Carlin show.
She's so gracious to let us steal her bar for a while.
Tara, this is Toby. We don't know if we introduced you. Toby, we did not. She did a Autism Speaks benefit that we did. So.
Oh, okay.
Tara's got some customers coming in, so we'll try to make this brief. We'll tell them to chill out for a second until we're done with Tara. But what new beers you got in this week?
I actually just took a trip down to Rheingeist down in Cincinnati, so we have a couple new IPAs from them. The Truth, which is awesome. Fiction, ironically enough, is of Belgian, so I guess Belgians lie. And Cougar, because who doesn't love a Cougar?
Oh, they have a beer called Cougar?
Yeah, it's a blonde ale, ironically
Oh,
enough.
I won't like it.
I know. No, you would like it. It's actually pretty delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like the darkness.
Because you know I'm not a blonde fan either.
Yeah, I'm not either. I like the darkness. So
Me
yeah.
too. But yeah, both of them are good.
Well, next time you go down to Rheingeist, I'll ride with you.
Okay, absolutely. I always
What's
like to have a road dog.
the brewery in Northern Kentucky, Covington? Oh, it's a brewery in, what the heck is it? I'll think of it. We'll just go on.
What entertainment you got this weekend, girl?
Want to stop?
Okay, sorry, I had to go wait on customers.
No, you were supposed to come back with, that's what we cut you off
You
on.
just fucked up my
know.
edit, Tara.
Damn
know.
it. Don't edit. We don't edit shit. Who edits stuff? We don't do that.
No.
We're the one-take wonders.
One-take
We don't care.
wonders.
Yeah.
I had to run away really quick
She actually had to, serve people at her bar, so.
because I work.
You do.
Sometimes, yeah. It's
Sometimes.
Wednesday. Yeah. What entertainment you got this weekend, girl?
I actually have Daniel Bear, who goes by my brother the Bear.
Very cool. What kind of music?
He's a singer-songwriter. He does a lot of his own stuff. Super, super talented. Not bad on the eyes either, which
There you go.
doesn't hurt.
Does he have the kick drum and stuff?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And actually,
And
in
he's a
here,
veteran.
And he
Very
is
cool.
a veteran. Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
actually, in here, he doesn't bring the kick drum because the way our stage is set up, he just stomps around on the floor. It's
Well,
kind of
that's cool.
hillbilly, but it's really, really hot. I'm pretty into it. Yeah.
Really hot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Tara always did love a stomper.
I do.
I'm going to come in just to see how Tara's dressed for him. We know there will be an outfit or a costume change at some
I'll bet the
point.
girls are out Friday.
I'd say they are.
The girls are always out on Friday.
Of course. That's what Larry Vinzano always said about me at the Keys on Saturday. He'd be like, see, you got your Saturday shirt on, Lori. I was like, this is called tips, Larry, tips. Not tits, tips,
Yeah.
tips.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're closed on Saturday. You're observing the holiday. Good for you.
Yeah, we are. We really thought about like opening, you know, and there's so many people that do things like with their families.
And it's,
like,
it falls on the Saturday, so people are having
It's a
parties.
pretty-
And
people are off on Friday, so
Yes.
they have a chance to get away. And Bradley and I work really, really hard 7 days a week
You
in
sure
this
do.
place. And so we
Deserve a day off.
last, 4th of July, I said, maybe we will not open the next 4th of July. We need time off too. And
you
so-
guys too.
Very
So
cool. Good
I
for you.
decided to give us both 4th of July off with pay.
That's pretty
Woohoo,
awesome.
So
Look
good
at
for
you
us.
go.
Yeah.
Yay.
You are an awesome person, boss, whatever you want to say. I mean, from helping with the Ladies Self-Defense course, sponsoring that, to taking care of your employees. I mean, you're just pretty damn awesome.
Tara was on Channel 4 looking all hot and stuff. They talked to her about the self-defense classes that
was
she
on
sponsored.
Channel
Hey, let's segue right into our WTH about media and Chillicothe.
Oh, about that.
gosh.
We're all
Lord.
pissed.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're treating us like a bunch of friggin' inbred
Well, and
hillbilly
I put
meth
this
addict
on my
assholes.
social media. The Washington Post, the New York Times articles were absolutely atrocious, and those people have never even stepped foot in our town. But they made us sound like we're some decaying, rotting town in the
Festering
Midwest.
hole, and
Yeah,
that's
with
not the
people
case.
laying around on piles of needles on the sidewalks. And I
What was it,
tweeted the
Channel
post.
4, Channel 4 interviewed some guy that was a known.
Oh yeah, that was the other day. No, it was last night before last. Channel 4 did a thing about the march they had here, and the guy they talked to, I won't say his name, so I won't give him that much publicity, but they found one of our town finest.
Sterling
yeah.
residents.
And he's talking about how I'm afraid to leave my house because of prostitution and the drugs. Okay, a couple years ago, this same guy that's afraid to leave his house was caught on camera at a local church stealing a television out of their church.
Yeah.
So I sent Channel 4 a message, and I informed that, and I ended it with, "We are glad to hear he's no longer leaving the house."
The rest of the town will be safe.
Because at least Trinity can keep all their televisions. I mean, he went there for like help. They had some
Yeah.
program there helping people, and as on his way out, thought he would help himself to a television set. So this guy, these are the people that they're interviewing about this shit. And I want to tell you what, something's going on around here. Guaranteed, something is going on. But if the people in this town would leave the law enforcement alone and let them do their damn job, and let them, because I talked to an officer and I want to quote him on saying, every ghost we have to chase takes away from us actively investigating the real case.
Every CSI aficionado in Ross County, Southern Ohio, is just making things a lot slower.
Well, and like I've said this before too, half the people that are talking about this stuff on Facebook, they can't hunt down grammar or a job, let alone hunt down a killer. So until they can use the correct form of there, or there, I don't see them tracking down a killer or who's responsible for these women. I'm fired. And I know you are too.
Yeah, I am too. And I actually kind of started this wave of like trying to get people to every day post
Say something
something
nice
positive
about
about town. And I took this one step farther. I'm going to be working with the Visitors Bureau.
Good for you. I like Melody. Melody's good.
And Courtney Lewis, who's awesome. We are going to
We
be
talked to her
putting
last
together a video of the things that we think make Chillicothe so awesome. Whether
That's so
it's
cool.
family-owned businesses or big business or things to do outside or our downtown, the mounds. Like we've put together a really, really awesome list, and that we're going to put.
Chillicothe. I bring my kids here. We shop here.
Chillicothe's a
The downtown is
great town.
clean. The streets are clean. It's wide. I love this place, and
Yeah.
it's so much better than it used to
Don't
be.
walk down
Yeah.
2nd Street with a iced tea cup from McDonald's.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's the code. That's the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, but still, like, you know, all jokes aside, the national media has made our town out to be this horrible place. And I'm sitting here tonight in Tara's bar in downtown Chillicothe, looking out the window. I don't see anything going on. It's not the Wild West out there.
We've been here for over an hour, and I've seen no meth heads go by.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and Tara's has an active, open business here downtown. People walk through her door are all good citizens. I mean, it's just every town has good with the bad. It's just the misfortune that we have something going on right now that is unique to small towns. This is a big city issue that's happening in a small town, and it's getting national media. I just wish the media would actually come here and walk around for a day and talk to people before they print these horrible articles. I've had people contact me that live out of state that have been here. A lot of the Paints players I've known
Certainly.
that live out of state. They're like, Matt, are you okay? We're reading all this stuff in the media. And I'm like, you guys lived here for a summer. Did you see any of that going on?
Well, and can I just say too, as somebody who, being on Channel 4, being on the news, you know, they interviewed me for a long period of time, and what they used in that news story was a snippet. Now, granted, they did use a good snippet. They were talking
But they could
about,
have went the other way
but,
with it.
You know, they could have very well have edited that different. They also took out everything that I said about the great things that are going on in town. You didn't
Yeah.
hear that.
No.
And that was
Because that didn't go with
that
their
was
agenda.
a question.
Yeah.
The question was, as a woman in downtown, you know, do you fear for your safety leaving the bar at night? My answer was no, because we have a great downtown.
Yeah.
I'm not putting needles in my arm. I'm not selling myself on the street corner. I'm not worried about walking to my car any more than any normal person would worry, period. It is 2015. If you are not locking your doors and holding your purse and looking around you when you walk to your car at night, then you are ignorant.
Which are
You
the
know?
same things you would do in any other town across the world. You would hold your purse close, have your keys in your hand if you're a woman, and go straight to your car.
Right.
Well, what happened?
That doesn't make us any different. It doesn't make us what was it? The Rust Belt town of evil.
Yeah, I mean, have you read these articles?
No, I didn't even realize.
And the
it was
Huffington
that.
Post, Jesus, they haven't got anything right. And then there was that article from Australia, which I'm sure they flew here and checked shit out. I mean,
Well, what happens is they get their agenda in their mind, and they've already written the story before they come. They just need a name to put behind the quotes.
right, and then and it makes me mad that we have a good newspaper and good media and KKJ and stuff in our town that are printing the facts and are printing good stories. That little girl from the Gazette has been on this from day one. I mean, she has been right there. I think she's the one they had on MSNBC the other day. And they kept trying to prod her about serial killers, and she wasn't going to say that because that's not what they've confirmed. I mean,
And they did the same thing to me. The
Yeah.
first words out of the interviewer's mouth when he was talking to me was, well, you know, they're comparing you, the situation here, to the Green River Killer. I'm like, that is ludicrous to me. And he said, you know, Jack the Ripper only killed, 5 women or something like that. You know, he's like, you know, it's comparable to Jack the
No,
Ripper.
it's not.
It's not comparable
Yeah,
to
they're
Jack
not
the
listening.
Ripper.
They have an agenda, and they're not listening, and they're just cutting it down to whatever it is they want to hear.
Right.
right. And I mean, you were educated for years.
Yeah.
You're an educated person, and like your comments. I mean, you don't live here, but you've made those comments
No.
about our town, and it's just frustrating because we struggle so much with our image in Chillicothe. Anyway.
We know how good it is.
It's
And
beautiful.
you know, people already that lived here had a bad image of the town because they don't get out and explore their area. But then when you get all this other stuff feeding into that, then people like Tara, Visitors Bureau, myself, Carlin, Courtney Lewis, we're trying to be positive about Chillicothe, and it's just you feel like you're just banging your head against a wall because anything you post on social media, somebody's got to put a comment about it. And like I said, when you can properly use the correct form of there, and there, come talk to me.
You know,
Exactly.
Courtney Lewis and I have, you know, we talk a lot, you know, because we're both the same age,
Sure.
and both owning businesses, and you know, when she put on Facebook, you know, she was disappointed. You know, she felt deflated is what she said.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said to her, you know, and I put it on her Facebook, but I sent it to her in a message too, and I was like, don't you dare do that. Like, this community needs us, whether we feel deflated or not, to stand up and say that we're not defeated, we're not deflated, that we still believe in this area.
There's great things going on here.
And screw these people who think that they can change that. That think because of the actions of a few do not determine.
Well, sensationalism sells papers.
Right, and Courtney was a guest on the show
Yes.
last week, and we talked about the very same thing about downtown, like you guys talk. I mean, you know, and I told her I praise her for doing everything she's doing downtown, like we have you countless times. You know, people are doing good things here. If people just open their eyes and realize what you're trying to do, then I think they would see that we're not that bad of a place. I mean, you know.
Very true. Very true.
And I've said it 100 times, is for people to stop being part of the problem and start being part of the progress.
Right.
You know, you are being a victim. We don't need victims. We need people to stand up and say that we are not some hillbilly inbred town with hookers running rampant and needles laying in the street. That is not what we are.
It's safe for people to go out at, you know, all hours of the day.
I walk my
Use
dog by
common
myself.
sense.
I don't feel like I'm being stalked by anybody.
I left here last weekend when I was here, walked across the street to my truck by myself and got in and went home and had nobody bother.
And I don't even think about that kind of thing. I bring my kids here, we shop, we do things here, there's things in the park.
Yeah.
There's tons of activities to do.
Yeah,
And I don't even think about that. On the way home, I'm like, oh, was I supposed to be afraid?
Yeah, was I supposed to not enter Chillicothe city limits?
Right.
Yeah, and it just, you know, people just give us a chance. If you've never been here, come check out what we have. We have the #1 outdoor drama in the nation that's been here for years, and it's been the #1 outdoor drama for years.
That is so cool. I haven't been for a long time. I need to go back.
But I mean, it continually is the #1 drama in the nation. And I think there are probably 8 or 9, I think now, still operating, and it's been #1 for years.
Yeah.
And
We have a great live music community.
Oh, we have a great
for
live
a town
music
our
scene.
size.
You guys promote the arts amazingly.
Some of the art, the musicians here and the artists here are just like top notch.
we have 2 art galleries in this town.
Yeah.
About every other Tuesday or so, there's a young gentleman that comes into Steiner's named Ben Davis. What's your thoughts on him, Tara?
I love Ben Davis.
Do you really?
He's my favorite.
I wouldn't know. I'll be darned. I'll be darned. I didn't know that.
He's such a sweet kid. If you can get him to say 5 words, that's good.
I'm gonna go
But then
see
he
him
gets
Friday
on
night.
stage and he's like so charismatic, and but then he gets off stage and he's really quiet.
He is a music encyclopedia for a 25-year-old young man, which is not too young for a lady of, say, 31 years old or something. But anyway.
33.
33, 31, who's counting? But he's an amazing encyclopedia of music knowledge. I mean, we can talk about old stuff that I like and listen to, or new stuff, and I don't think he's a fan of Luke Bryan. I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is. Did
I
you
don't
see
think
that
he is
post on
either.
his Facebook
Yeah,
page? I
very
commented on
I know.
the vinyl
Yeah.
of Sturgill Simpson, who's great.
Yes.
And I said, hey, Ben, do you want to go to the concert? And he was like, hell no. Isn't that what he told
Yes.
me? And I was like, and I didn't even get to comment, but he thought I commented on this poster he had put up of Luke Bryan,
Certainly.
asking him if he wanted to go see Luke Bryan. My reaction was, because he was like, oh shit, I thought you were talking about him. And I said, I'm kind of offended that you think I would even go to a Luke Bryan.
Did it get warm in here or something? Your face is a little redder than it was, Tara. I don't know what's going on.
I think Luke Bryan has been Davis's wagon wheel. I do. I think that's his wagon wheel.
I think so.
I think it is.
I think so.
I think it is.
We've got about a minute left. Let's do some plugs.
Okay.
What's your web presence there, Miss Tara? Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter.
Steiner Speakeasy?
Steiner Speakeasy for both.
Great place.
There's
Or you
Speakeasy 45601
Twitter.
on Twitter.
It's a lot funner if you find her in person, though, on South Main Street at Steiner's Speakeasy, because this is a great freaking place.
31 South Bank, Chillicothe, Ohio.
Yes.
There are no needles out front.
Or hookers.
No needles or
Well,
hookers?
sometimes there's probably hookers.
Understood.
But genuinely, there's not always hookers.
They're not genuine hookers. I think they just come in here drunk and try to get guys to buy them drinks.
Oh.
And a lot of them are our friends.
That's funny stuff. On that happy note, we are the Lori and Carlin Show on www.goonroadradio.com. Please email us, lncshow@yahoo.com. We're going to get out of here to, I think, a very fitting song. The Beatles Come Together. Actually, go right ahead.
No, go ahead.
The Beatles Come Together by Donna McGavro, and she's DonnaMcGavroMusic.com.
I just want to thank Toby for joining us before we left.
Thank you. You're the polite one of the bunch, obviously.
Yes, yes. I
Enjoyed
tried.
it. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Thank you and good luck to you, my friend.
I will show my appreciation by giving you a ride all the way home.
Wow, I don't have to walk?
Not at all.
Don't get in that car. That's worse than a white van.
That's worse than a white man.
I've taken lessons.
Okay, on that happy note, we are the fuck out of here.
Here come off that top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeballs, he's one holy roller. He's got head down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. Shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey fingers, he shoot Coca-Cola. He said, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me. He back production, he got Warriors gumboot, he got oh no sideboards, he's one spinal cracker. He's got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. He roller coaster, he got only warning. He got muddy waters, he's one mojo filter. He said 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking 'cause he's so hard to see. Come together